Yeah, but you like,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you're doing news, right?
it's now time. That's right. I know you waiting. It's time for the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. Yeah.
That's a lot of extra, man. A lot of extra.
I was just trying to give the appropriate news intro because some days are different. Today is a day that is different, and hence the name, the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. Okay, because it's I'll let you classify it. First thing on the radar. Hate to mention this, you guys, but the Brazilian plane crash. They ran out of fuel.
Yeah, man.
This is 2016. You know what's amazing, Vic? You could design a monitor in the fuel tank that would go into an app. But besides going to the app, it could bounce up on the screen in the cockpit and tell the people back at main control that your flight pan doesn't fit your fuel tank.
Yeah.
And it would be cost damn near nothing.
Yep.
Easy to do. So even the technology today is human error. This is the most ridiculous
You're speaking
kind of human error.
You know,
they should take the pilot out. See, I'm sorry. This is where.
Be careful now.
Oh Lord.
Because everybody lost their life.
You know, this is what I'm saying.
Except the 6.
Oh, I thought the 6. Well, see, you wonder.
Yeah.
What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm just saying, so preventable.
Look, you already know that they say most of the time it's usually negligence, right? And do you know that they actually had several planes, including that plane, in a holding pattern to land? So there's this coordinating of how, when they land. So imagine that you're 8 miles short and you're in a holding pattern and all of a sudden you can't hold anymore.
Well, that's why you have to design an intervention.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing about this, it reminded me, because I am a physician, it reminded me of the days when doctors would go in and take off the wrong damn leg. Do you know that happened?
Oh, my God.
That they would line somebody up for surgery, and half the time they barely, the other leg was damn near no good either. And then they take off the wrong leg. Now, you know how they changed that today, Vic? Everybody has to check off that leg. They barcode your leg. The anesthesiologist knows which leg.
Really?
The surgeon knows which leg. The nurse was. So if it goes down that it's the wrong leg today, 6 people's head gonna roll.
Yeah.
So you know what happens today? What? There are no wrong legs. At Kaiser Permanente, they had barcoded your food tray.
Wow.
Everybody, you wear that band, and they take that band and scan you for everything. The computer checks for everything. This is why I love technology, because technology and protocol will remove these type of incidents. They should never occur.
Right.
Absolutely never.
Yeah.
In other words, we used to say that in football. If you're going to block the field goal, somebody actually has to make a mistake.
Yeah, true.
All you have to do is do your assignment, and it becomes almost impossible to block. In order to do it, someone has to be enticed to make a mistake.
Yeah. A
shortcut. So, again, I just say that because, it's so tragic. Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Especially when it's that preventable. What do you say? And so, now here's where, again, I blame not just the pilot. I blame the company for having a situation that allows an individual to make that kind of mistake. You're not supposed to have a system where the pilot can make that kind of decision and have it be life-threatening without some kind of safeguard that pops up and says, what the hell's going on?
All the redundancies that's in place is amazing. There was such a pass-along.
Obviously not at this airline. There must not be. There must not be. See, I bet you if you go investigate this airline, you find that they don't have.
Yeah.
Because that gets us to the next story. So the Oakland fire, you guys. Lord. And even though, sometimes the people are just inexperienced in a sense. But the Oakland fire really occurred, again, all these young folks dying.
Right.
all these young folks dying in that fire because of a place that didn't have even the most basic. The part that was horrifying me, I just thought it was an old building, maybe with stuff not up to code.
Right.
Oh, no. They had stuff blocked in exits.
Right.
They had it so you couldn't even barely navigate where you were going.
Pallets for a stairway.
Pallets for stairway.
Yeah.
All kind of. See, this beyond crazy. See, this is what gets me. It's beyond crazy.
What about the people
What
who
were you
live there?
thinking?
What about the people actually who lived there? I didn't know that they actually had living quarters there, and that the people who were not part of what was going on was awoken to smoke. Very little time. They were timing it out. This is about 30 seconds, and the smoke was doing its job, which really takes you down first. And then once that's done, you basically are left.
Another sad instance, you guys. Wow.
I know.
Someone's head's going to roll, the owner, because there's negligence involved here.
Right.
What happens is, of course, some of the degrees of negligence are on behalf of the people who were living there doing
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
But there's other degrees of negligence.
But let me ask you this now. Not that I'm going to literally jump on them, but you have to say we are blessed. Now, let's just say this now, Mario, because we're older now. And first of all, let me say blessings and prayers to the families, because they're still discovering, because they haven't identified everyone. God. So that first is more important. I'm not going to look for the blame. I'm not going to look who should be at fault, as much as hopefully that some of these people got out and they just have not been located and identified, and that some success will come out of this where people say, oh my God, guess who we discovered? Guess who we found? They were in the hospital or a friend's house or whatever the case may be.
Well, Tippy, I tell you, here's the thing.
But wait a minute. Let me just say this, because you and I have been in this before.
Right.
Have we not gone into some, back in our day, little joints?
Oh, hell yeah.
Low ceiling.
Could have died.
One door in, one door out.
So, totally.
I can tell you about a place that we go to eat. I'm not going to say where it is. And I look around. I even told you. I said, you do know if they strike a match in here. There's one way out.
That's the way we have to keep that in mind. And I guess now we're going to have increased vigilance, right, Vic?
Yeah.
Because the point is, Vic, you're totally right. We have been
there. Yes.
We prided ourselves on going to hole in the wall.
Yeah, that was the brand.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, let's go to the warehouse.
Children and fools.
Day,
that's who God protects. I like to think I fit in both categories.
All right. Now, wait a minute.
Lord.
So you walk into that spot this day and age, you're going to be criticizing. What is this, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're now in the role of your parent.
Now I'm wiser. Right. I mean, you could phrase it a bunch of ways.
Right.
I like to think I'm just wiser.
Uh-huh.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Right.
The women, okay, let's put it like this. At my age, you don't even sleep with the same people you would have slept with. If you do, you a fool.
I don't endorse
at 25.
I'm not endorsing
You're
that
still
statement.
sleeping with the same people at 40 as you did when you were 20. You're an idiot.
Wait a minute. So you're including that group.
I'm just saying, if you haven't grown in some of these areas, I have had my areas,
Mario,
where I have underperformed.
There are women going like this, talking to each other, going, "Did you sleep with him?" He says, "Yeah."
And it was a lot of sleep. They could put their head on my stomach and hear the ocean. The way they get to go right here.
See, this is
I said, can you hear the ocean?
See. There's a silver lining to this story. We are lucky. Because if you think about how many years we were hanging as men, and men were hunting, and boy, when we hunt, would you care about the building? Matter of fact, if it looked Art Deco and
yes, when you like it as a kid.
Yes,
that's when you like
it as a young adult.
That's what you guys. That's why I'm not critical.
See, watch yourself.
God bless us, protect us, Lord. I remember the party they had on the big deck. That the deck fell down and killed all the people.
Yes, right.
I mean, just terrible stuff. Okay, so no, we're not saying it like better than thou at all.
Right.
We're saying we too did things and went into places and partied under circumstances that were not the wisest. That's what young folks do.
Right.
And let's try to protect them by making sure the building code, somebody has to be the wiser person on this. So something has to change.
Yes.
Okay. Next item, because today is the day I have a few items. So the Ford Motor Company, after they looked at, see, this is the part that pisses me off. So the Ford Motor Company says now that they're certainly, even though they were critical of President-elect Trump, now that they saw the money that was given to Carrier in the deal.
Lord.
So here's what I'm telling everybody. Every company that is going to, even if they're not even planning to go to Mexico. Like imagine I'm about to write the president and say, Pax Stereo was planning to go to Mexico, but we'd be more than willing to keep Pax Stereo here in Los Angeles if we could just get a check. We could just get a check like the other folks, you know. So Ford says that they would be willing to try to keep jobs in the U.S. if they put the right policies in place. So I just want everybody to know that we too here at Pax Stereo have decided that we embrace staying in Los Angeles. I told Vic, we will keep these jobs or lack thereof here in Los Angeles if we can just get a check, a little check to help out, to help keep the Pax Stereo jobs.
Right.
Because we want to keep if you want Pax Stereo to stay in L.A., you know, post this. Keep Pax Stereo in L.A. So every company out there, watch who right now says they about to go to Mexico. It's gonna be a long ass line of companies saying they going to Mexico just so they can get a check.
Right.
Okay.
So let me just kind of interpret what Mario's saying, and for the others that's over here that's going, in this last week of activity, Donald Trump seems to be catering to the side that he was fighting against within his base, the Republican base. And so since he has to sit back and give you guys the illusion that he's still on the other side, he came out, which I'm not mad at. That's what he does. Let me come out and do a speech again so I can get you guys riled up again and then go back and do the two-step. So how much backward sliding are we seeing? Because it happens in every presidency, and I'm not going to be specific about what it is. I'm just going to say watch where the money goes, because the money does not necessarily come from the average consumer, the poor, the disenfranchised. The money that got you there is the same money that's getting you there. And watch the two-step in full effect. Look, I'll say this. Are there any boycotts about Romney? Isn't he the other side?
No.
No, wait, I got even better. Let's just keep throwing up the name ISIS. And let's talk about the wall. In the meantime,
yeah.
Where does the businesses go? Where are they going, man?
Well, here's the thing. I thought about the wall.
See.
And now I thought about it a different way. It's not going to work, but it's a bunch of jobs. People be migrating.
I'm telling you.
See, they talk because people need the jobs.
Watch.
So maybe we ought to let them work on the wall, because then that'll be like the wall supply, wall workers. They have to feed the wall people. You're going to need some nightclubs for the people on the wall when they get off of work.
Right.
So you're going to have to sell some liquor. Then you got to deal with the marijuana thing for the wall workers. So, okay, this is going to be a whole enterprise. So maybe we need to have the wall because it ain't going to work, but it'll be a bunch of jobs because we about to come up on the jobs.
What do you think, Mario? Do you think it better to have standardized politicians that'll make decisions that philosophically may not be consistent with those who are average, poor, and disenfranchised? Or do you feel better if he's surrounded by multi-billionaires who say, we know how to make money for you if you guys get right with us?
I'm trying not to see it in that light, even though a lot of it's very easy too. Hopefully it'll be a little more complex than that, because one thing that I do like about it is that they don't get along. Right. That means you get diverse opinions.
Yes.
That's the one thing I do like.
Yeah.
Now, here's the one thing about this. So, Paul Ryan, I had to post this on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, the House Speaker, Republican House Speaker, Paul Ryan, because he got pressed about Donald Trump, who's still tweeting what people are saying to be lies. He won the election, but he says the election was corrupt. Okay, so basically, Paul Ryan basically said, who cares? So, a lot of people have been posting. Won't read their names, but there have been I haven't heard some of those words in a while. That's what you know.
Right.
Woo-wee.
Wait a minute. Hey, look. I want to give a shout out to the pollsters. I want to say the ones who actually were telling all of us that, don't pay attention to the social media tweets, because there was a whole bunch of people multiply hitting, endorsing, and everything. Let's go by the standardized polls that you see on those wonderful markets like CNN, MSNBC, and extra. And then all of a sudden you come out and crash and burn, and none of those polls mean anything anymore. I will say the wall of polling has just shifted. Because you cannot quantify those same reports the same way.
That's the controversy I'm going after. I'm saying when you have a landslide, when you have an election like this and the polls were supposedly this far off, what I'm telling you is that the polls were not off. Somewhere there's proof that the people took the polls and then lied about what the polls said. And I want their ass stuck up on the wall somewhere.
Now, wait a minute.
They knew that it would look worse than that. So somebody took the polls and lied. I know that the polls don't make mistakes like that. So when they report it like that, someone is lying.
Who's reporting the Twitter polls?
Don't trust these assholes. Don't trust them.
So wait a minute.
Trust us.
People.
Trust Victor Allen.
Let me say this.
Look at that face.
Let me say this.
Can you trust that face?
So don't listen to me when I give you the numbers, right?
I'm saying with a grain of salt. We already agree. We always say that. No matter what numbers we quote, we say, be careful.
All right.
You know, I always think, what do they want me to believe? All right. Here's a moment of Bravo moment. Let's give it up for the Dakota Access Pipeline protesters who have a small victory. It's just a small victory. They're going to try to route it around. Now, of course, Trump can block this. It's not over. But just let's acknowledge the Dakota Access Pipeline folks who've been protesting. We've been putting stuff out there. 2,000 veterans joined them. We've been putting stuff out there, Vic. And so we wanted to acknowledge that small victory for them.
Yeah,
okay?
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
All right.
Like that.
Last thing that I want to talk about today, because I hate these things so much, is this jobs report. I hate these jobs reports because they're so full of shit and they're so full of spin. Let me give you an example. For years, and I'm quoting with grain of salt, the discussion out there in the economic community was that in order for the U.S. to really have a turnaround on unemployment, that we needed essentially 250,000 jobs created every month for approximately 2 years. So, when you hear they say they had a month that was 200,000, they were 50,000 under. Now, the other thing is when you talk about unemployment, it gets to be who they're not counting, because I know among my community, we feel like unemployment is rampant. We feel like that's part of the problem with the youth. There's no jobs for them. Okay? All right, there's not ways. There's no meaningful things for them to do in those other times that try to pull themselves up. Well, here they go. Wow, the U.S. economy added 178,000 jobs in November. And unemployment rates dropped to 4.6%. My point that I put out there was, this is another example of an article from a bunch of assholes trying to make you feel like you're doing better than you are.
Right.
How is it going in your community? How is unemployment going?
Right.
But yet they want you to have a feel-good movement. This is why the Democrats lost. I'm sorry. This is one of the things, this kind of media, unfortunately, is the kind of thing that fuels Trump supporters. It totally is.
They're very aware.
Because they're going, this is the bullshit. You keep trying to tell everybody that it's good, and it ain't good.
Right.
It ain't good.
Right.
And in a lot of places, it hasn't been good for a long, long time. And those are the people who are rebelling.
Right.
So then you read these kind of news reports, and they're going, wow, 178,000 jobs. Like it's something good. Is that spin? Is that spin? All right. That's Mara Hemsley. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. The good news.